Okay, there's the full cost breakdown of importing goods step by step with example. Every found a product that looks cheap overseas, but by the time it arrives at your warehouse, the cost has doubled or tripled. Today, I will walk you through the full learning cost of importing goods step by step using a real example. Importing this 10,000 t-shirts from Bangladesh to Ethiopia. Hi, I am Andolim. On this channel, we make international trade and logistics simple, so you can avoid costly mistakes. If you have ever wondered why your landed cost is much higher than your supplier's cost, this video is for you. Let's see the breakdown. Step one, the product cost or EX factory. Uh, this is the supplier's price for the goods at their factory or warehouse before there's any transport, taxes, or services, often called AX factory or AX work prices. It is just the starting point, but not the total cost. Many buyers stop here and get surprised later. Let's record as the example. Importing the t-shirt to Ethiopia. Supplier's price in Bangladesh is $2 per t-shirt. And let us assume we will import this 10,000 t-shirts at $2 per t-shirt. And so the total X work price is $20,000. So this number most beginners stop at, but this is only the beginning. The next element is the inland transport to port of loading. Tracking from the supplier to the port, the seaport or the airport, or nominated forwarders may include loading, container repositioning, maybe this packaging, something like that. Some routes or poor infrastructure push this cost very high, sometimes equals almost the freight itself. Let's example that's a transport cost from the Dhaka to Chittagong port is 600. I mean, the cost of moving the 10,000 shirt from the Dhaka to Chittagong port is 600. So the tracking, handling, and local delivery charge are unavoidable. So just you build um, the cost by adding the inland transport costs. Step three, that's the export documentation and handling. Importer also does pays for export documentation and handling. For example, that's the export custom clearance, certificate of origin. Sometimes the shipment may require inspection, packing, packaging, or fumigation, and so on. So to have all these documents, we may be required to pay a certain amount of dollar for each document. Because the paperwork delays may cause demurrage. Fees add up and are often overlooked. Let's say, let's quote as the previous example, export clearance, certificate of origin, inspection fee may require payment of $100 jointly. So we add the 400 on the previous two costs. Another important element of the import cost is international freight. It could be as a sea freight, or it could be as the air freight. Sea freight or contract or air freight per kilogram includes carrier base rate plus surcharge like fuel, peak season charge, and so on. Freight is the largest variable cost and very volatile. It depends on the seasons. So choosing the cheapest visible rate without understanding the surcharge or the routing may cause also to pay this additional fees. So how can we control this, the seasonality of the freight? We may just enter an agreement with the forwarder and lock the rates. You can compare the freight on board price versus cost, insurance, and freights, or you can also consolidate the loads um, during the seasons. Anyway, let's assume that the moving this 140 feet containers from Chittagong port to Djibouti requires a payment of $2,500. So where does this cost on the previous three costs? The fifth most important element of this, the importing cost is the insurance, meaning that every imported item should be insured. This is required by the law, or every government or every nation that requires or ask the importer to buy insurance to cover any risk or any damage that would happen during the transporting. So we buy this insurance for goods to cover any cargo loss or damage. Actually, that's the insurance cost represents the smallest portion of the total cargo value, but its impact, its importance is very, very big. Let's say we buy insurance for the previous cargo at $100. So this also is part of the import cost. Another very critical cost element in importing goods from the abroad is destination port charges. This includes the terminal handling charge, unloading the container from the vessel, documentation at destinations. The cargo sometimes may require the scanning or inspections. All such is part of the destination costs. This is usually this unexpected large and are built at destinations. Let's assume that the terminal handling, loading, and port documentation costs as 1,200 USD. This is part of the cost, right? Step 7, that's the custom duties and taxes at the destination country. In this case, that's the Ethiopia. Import duty or tariff based on the HS code and the custom value. You may pay this value added tax. You may pay excise tax, surtax, and maybe this other tax. Anyway, that's the destination customs. Also the suppose different charges on the incoming goods. So you add this cost on the import. For example, the chest code for cotton t-shirt is 20% duty and 50% VAT. So duty is 4,000, and we paid as 3,600 for VAT, total 7,600 on the incoming goods. Step A, that's the inland transport. Inland transport, that's from the customs. From the entry ports, the entry custom ports. Let's say it may be the Samojo or it can be the Addis Ababa. So transporting the good from the customs at Addis Ababa or from Mojo port to the importer's warehouse. That's also another element of the sun importing costs. So in this case, we pay tracking costs from the customs to the importer's warehouse. So let's say tracking cost for the container cost as like $500. Okay, and also that's the ninth element is the warehousing and distributions. Let's say we don't have the warehouse to temporarily put these items. So what we do is we temporarily rent warehouse from the third party. So we also include this cost into the import cost. So the storage, handling, and local labor costs. Let's say this is up to $500. And the 10 elements of the importing cost is the hidden and unexpected costs. They are unexpected because they are hidden. We cannot easily discover, or they are not feasible to detect and to estimate the total amount. One of the most hidden cost is the demurrage. This is the cost or the charge for container overstaying at the port. If we do not quickly collect the container from the port authority does charge as a demurrage cost. Another is the detention costs. This is the late return of empty containers. We collect from the port and we sometimes keep the empty container at our warehouse more than expected, or in that case that's the shipping company that's also the charges a detention charge. We also just pay like inspection fee if required, LC opening costs or banking charge for LC opening costs, bank service charge, SWIFT charge, telex charge, and so on. So these are some of the hidden costs. Let us assume that we pay for banking fees $300, demurrage and detention for $500, total $800. You know, that's we consider all this part of our costs. Now let's put all together. Let's see the summary of the import costs. You know, that's at the very beginning, we assume that we will import this 10,000 t-shirt from this Bangladesh. We paid us $2 per t-shirt and $20,000 for the 10,000 t-shirts. This is the X work price. So the product cost at the origin, at the supplier's at the seller's warehouse is $20,000, and we paid a 600 to move the cargo from the supplier's warehouse to the origin port or airport or nominated forwarders destination. We pay 600. We pay some for certificate of origin and as a documentation purpose, $400. Let's see, freight, 2,500. We buy insurance at 100. We paid as 1,200 for port charge or destination charge. Custom duties and VAT like 7,600. Inland transport, $2,000. Warehousing, we rent this warehouse for the imported items, 500. And the hidden cost, demurrage, detention, something like that, 800. So the total landed costs increased to 35,700. This is the cost build-up. This is the cumulative cost. So your t-shirt that looked like just $2 purchased at the origin at the factory gate ends up costing up to 3.57 by the time it reaches your warehouse in Addis Ababa. That's nearly double. So this slide simply shows us how we can build the cost of the important items, and we can check um, whether the cost is competitive or not. And that's why the supplier's quote never tells the full story. Every importer must calculate landed cost, including the freights, duties, port charge, inland delivery, and even the hidden extras. If this example just gave you this clarity, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I thank you so much.